This is Mouth Media Network, your inside voice.
It's the year 2058. U.S. President Tina Fey begins her second term. Steam-powered slingshots are a surprising holiday hit for the kids. Soup has naturally been reclassified as a Class C drug. Comas are sweeping the globe as a new kind of fashion statement. And the full catalog of recordings of the podcast Funny People Talking has gone missing from the Museum of Things Forgotten. The museum puts up a reward: a cup of Italian wedding soup. Soup, folks. Soup. This is Funny People Talking.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Hollingshead, and I rather stick needles in my eyes than listen to funny people talking.
Hey everybody, see, Danielle's looking at me already, how's he going to say it this time,
How's
right?
he going to say it?
Right?
1, 2, 3. Funny people talking.
Hello everybody, and this is Funny People Talking.
I love that you edited yourself. That was great. Hi everyone, I'm Danielle, and you're listening to Funny People Talking.
That's Danielle
To my
Beckmann.
left is my co-host, Marc Raco.
Hello everybody. And also with us is our producer.
And to Mark's left.
it is my left. It's producer Elsie. She's kind of my left. Hey Elsie. What's going on? How are you? I've had a day. I'm a little off. I'm more off than I normally am off. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Are you off, Elsie, or are you on?
No, I'm on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem like it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm fine.
Okay. Well, anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. We are really delighted that you're here with us. And we are also, I'm not going to say equally delighted. I'm going to say more delighted
I knew
that,
it.
at our guest today. And I want to give proper props. Proper props. I
Proper
like that.
props?
Say that 10 times fast. Proper props to our guest, Vanessa Hollingshead. She is a stand-up comedian. She's an actor. She's a painter. She's an all-around Renaissance gal who we're going to learn a lot more about. Is it okay to say gal, Vanessa?
It's so okay to say gal.
So
Yeah.
She's also
gal.
a writer. She has a one-woman show
She
coming
is.
up.
She
There's a
is.
lot of cool
There's
stuff.
a lot of cool stuff about her that we will unpack in just a few minutes. But I'm also I'm additionally delighted because Vanessa, along with a couple other guests we've had over time, is a last-minute substitution to the team. She has been very fortunate to us, happened to have a window of time that matched the time we were recording this show. We reached out. She said yes. She's here in the studio.
Yay.
We had a guest who was ill at the last minute and couldn't join us, and we're so delighted you're here. Thank you very much for joining us, Vanessa.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We're so glad you're not ill.
No, I'm going on 3 hours sleep, but I'm
Whoa.
good. Yeah, I took my first hot Pilates class.
Wow.
I was up at 5:30, which,
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Sheesh kebab.
Wow. Hey,
That
I like
is
that.
amazing.
Sheesh kebab. I love that.
I
Yeah, I
used to
never
say
heard
that
of
to a
that.
little boy that I babysat.
Speaking of no sleep, have you seen there's this new Netflix series called, I think it's called Awake. And the idea is that the contestants have to be up for 24 straight hours and then they compete on the show, and they compete in things that require dexterity and things like that.
Wow.
And thought adjustment and counting and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
And they can win $1 million. And there's only like 6 contestants.
Has
when the game starts.
anyone died yet? No, because
I
this
don't
is
know.
a thing. There was a guy
Yeah.
who stayed up for too long
Oh,
playing
yeah.
video
Yeah.
games, and he had an
Yeah.
aneurysm.
I
and
don't
died.
think it's because of staying too long. I think it's
Exhaustion.
sitting for that long. It's a mix with exhaustion, mixed with probably dehydration, mixed with anxiety from playing. Your heart beating so quickly because of
Yeah.
the intensity of the fake world that you're in. So
Oh, that's true too. So
Yes.
where can we watch this show? Mark?
Netflix.
Oh yeah, Netflix.
It's
Okay.
good. I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. Anyway, you just made me think of it when you were talking about having only a few
Yeah.
hours sleep. So you could
Woof.
almost compete on that show, Vanessa.
I could. Me and every insomniac and comedian could compete on that show.
Absolutely, because you guys are up at all hours.
Yeah.
All right. So before we get started with the show, I do have a quick question for you, Danielle.
Mark, I'm ready. What do you need to know this week?
The piñata.
Well, I also just so you know, I have my terrarium. Did you notice?
Yeah. The
From
turtle.
last week?
The turtle ghost.
Yes. Okay, what do you need to know about the piñata?
I don't know. Oh, yes. Okay, you were pointing out that you had it with you because I didn't notice in the past.
Because I bring
That's
it
great.
on Tuesdays.
So, what was your turtle's name again?
Buster.
Yeah, okay. So, no, the piñata.
Yeah, but what?
Piñata. Why a porcupine piñata?
Well,
That you have with you. I should point out
you'll
she's
notice-
carrying I haven't seen too many people carrying their own piñata around. Is that just so that if you feel the urge, you can give it a smack? Or
it was left over from quinceanera. They were having it's like a post-Pride Parade quinceanera mashup that happened. You'll notice there's a hole. There's no candy in here.
yeah, no.
But I was walking through Washington Square Park, and I just thought, you know what I need to bring to the show today? This.
Piñata.
So Mark can ask about it.
It's a porcupine piñata.
It is. And it actually, I'm bleeding.
Say that 10 times
I'm
fast.
bleeding. Do you see?
Is that from poking a
It's
hole
the
in it?
porcupine. No, the porcupine is pokey. He's a porcupine.
It's
Piñata.
a pokey. It's a
Anyway,
porcupine
there
piñata.
were-
Is that it?
And they did give me, the family who was giving their daughter a quinceanera
Gotcha.
gave me those really delicious flavored Tootsie Rolls. You know the Tootsie Rolls
like
that have the
orange or
different...
something?
Oh,
or
yeah. Like creamsicle. So I was like, guys, listen, I'll take this off your hands and I'm going to recycle it later.
Is it Tootsie or Tootsie?
It's Toots.
Toots. Come on.
Vanessa, do you have
I
weigh
say
in on this?
Tootsie Roll.
What about
You
the
see
commercial?
Tootsie Roll?
Tootsie Roll.
How many licks to a Tootsie? Like,
Tootsie Pop.
Yeah.
But you don't say Tootsie. You say Tootsie.
Why don't you go ask Santino, what's his name, who won the Tony?
I know, right?
He's playing
I know.
Tootsie.
Tootsie. Tootsie.
Anyway, delicious. Thank you
Tootsie's about
All right,
to
something
well,
else.
Imelda. Happy 13. Oh, no, she's 16. Sorry.
Tootsie is
Quinceanera.
about
No, wait,
something else.
quinceanera is 15. Sorry.
Does that go back to the poop emoji?
I'm talking to myself here. No
Yes,
one's
you-
listening.
I know. Elsie and I have
I'm
our own
listening.
little talk about poop emojis.
I have someone in my
Side
corner.
chat.
Oh, you found something interesting in a store that you told us about the other day that relates to the poop emoji, by the way, Elsie.
You did, Elsie? Oh, what
What?
was it?
It was a game.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't a game. It was Play-Doh.
Oh, Play-Doh. Poop emoji
Yeah,
Play-Doh.
it's a whole Play-Doh kit where it's all about poops.
Okay.
So it could also
It's a
double
poop
for ice
creator.
cream.
Okay.
Yeah, what? Yeah, oh, yeah.
All right. Well, we've covered this in a previous show. I know I brought it up. So, okay. Quickly,
Yeah.
a nerd tip.
Just the tip, nerd tip.
And then we'll move on with the show.
I just wanted to, in this nerd tip, satisfy every nerd's needs in the kitchen. So it's, if you guys have heard of Board Panda, it's an amazing site.
Yes.
And I just wanted to direct y'all there if you were interested in getting some fun little nerdy gadgets. I found some super cool things on there. So check it out. One of which is a Death Star ice sphere mold. So you can have a Death Star huge, awesome ice cube, plop it in your drink.
I need that.
Alcoholic or non. A Doctor Who tea infuser, which is super fun because it goes with the British theme. A Pac-Man oven mitt, a Dragon Egg
Oh, so you can
cookie
walk
jar
around with
from
your
Game
oven
of
and go
Thrones.
whack, whack, whack,
Yeah,
whack,
exactly.
yeah.
It's yellow. And also this one was really funny. It's a keyboard waffle iron. I was like, who wants that? I don't know. I was mean. But I love the Death Star ice cube. It's
That's
like,
important. We
yeah,
need
it's
that.
like the size of your fist.
Wow.
It's so cool. So anyway, I just thought Board Panda had some really cute stuff. So if you have a nerd friend who likes to cook, head on over, see their list. It's really fun.
I'm still suspicious that Danielle gets paid for these mentions.
I wish.
I know, right? Okay.
Board
So-
Panda, give me a call. I also love pandas.
Hey, Danielle,
Mark,
start the show.
start the show.
From the Mouth Media Network studios in New York City, and from the same people who brought you Monkey Radio with Mark, this is Funny People Talking with Marc Raco, Danielle Beckmann, and Elsie.
All right, we are here on Funny People Talking with Vanessa Hollingshead. She's a stand-up comedian and so much more. And we're going to talk all about who she is, what she is and why she is in just a few minutes.
Why she is amazing.
But for now, I have two things that I would like to discuss, if we may. One is something that I have to talk about.
Oh my God, get it off your chest.
I am aware that you were at Pride Parade.
I was.
Danielle. And not only were you there witnessing, but you were participating in a somewhat unique manner.
Yeah.
And so I can't wait to hear about that. But first, I have to tell you about something that happened.
Okay, tell me.
That is just cray-cray.
Tell me the cray.
It's defined as cray-cray.
Now, does it have to do with the subway?
It does.
I knew it.
Do you know what it is?
No, I'm saying this is a signature Marc Raco
It is a
subway
signature
story.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
It's like riding with Marc.
Yeah, we all know where it's going. I'm ready.
So I may have told you about this off mic, but the other day my wife and I were on the subway, and there was a young woman. I'm going to imagine she was in her early 20s, maybe, that was had no shoes on. Didn't seem to have a purse or any other belongings with her. She had a bottle of water. That's it.
Are you sure it was water?
No.
Okay.
But I believe it was.
Okay.
Anyway.
I mean, shoes off are the most dangerous thing you can do.
And her signature move was that for the 45 minutes that we were on the train, she was laughing hysterically. I should mention she was by herself, curled up in the corner seat, laughing at such a level of intensity that I was starting to get a little concerned about her well-being.
Yeah.
From a like hyperventilation or cardiac or passing out or whatever situation. And it was very clear that only one of two things probably was happening. Either she had some sort of brain issue, tumor, psychological breakdown, something, or she was on some sort of substance. And I think we agreed that she probably was on some sort of
45 minutes?
It was a long time.
Oh my gosh.
She laughed. I think out of the 45 minutes, there was about 3 of those minutes that she was not laughing, in which she sort of caught her breath and calmed down for a second, and then it would come again.
Wow.
And when I say she was laughing, it was intense laughing. Where someone goes like,
for 45 minutes.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It was crazy.
So did you ask her if you could have some?
It did not occur to me.
Okay, good for you.
But I want to.
Scary.
Have you ever seen someone like out in public or on the subway or something that has some sort of intense emotional reaction happening that you don't know the backstory, but you're stuck, if you will, with what this person is doing?
There was this woman probably a few months ago. I just finished working at Dangerfields, and at first I thought, she's crazy, and she was talking about, how the fascists are taking over America, and corporate greed and Walmart, and after a while I'm like, she's starting to make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe I was listening, and she was angry. You got the corporate greed. No one listens. No one takes control over America. People don't even stand up for themselves. Everyone's a bunch of wimps. What's going on? Back in the Constitution in 14 said you had this. We had this amendment. She knew her stuff, and I was thinking, God, just shut up. And then I'm like, oh, she's right. This woman is right. Why are our what do you call it? Those why are our prophets half insane?
Yeah.
I know. Is this like a social studies teacher that
went wrong,
found crack or something?
I
don't know what sometimes I read about like homeless people, and there's such a thin line between insanity and genius.
Yeah.
And sometimes they just need like their wife to leave them or their husband to leave them for them to snap. Not everybody can be their own best friend and be fine with a dog and a cat.
Right. So true.
Yeah,
and
some
in
people
New York,
get their heart broken.
It's right in your face in New
Right.
York.
Right.
Wow. There is a priestess who lives on my street.
Those were air quotes.
I did some air quotes. I don't know. I just called her that because I thought it was interesting. She wears like a cape thing and goes around, and she spit at my boyfriend's feet. Yeah, it was a thing. Anyway.
How did his life change after that moment?
We saw her the other night, and she was walking toward us on the street, and he goes, cross, babe, cross with me. And we were like, this way, and we weaved through cars, and we just went to the other side of the street. But he could see her coming from like a while,
Oh my gosh.
away, over a block. He was like, we are going to the other side.
Wow.
I don't know. I would love to know her story if she would calm down enough to not like yell at me. That'd be cool.
So many of these people, whether they're homeless or whether they're walking the streets psychotically or whatever, maybe they have such interesting stories. Now, I know my wife, I really admire the fact
You know
that
your wife.
I know
Congratulations.
my wife. It
Thank
was
God.
a good first step.
Jeez.
My wife is she is amazing in that she takes time to interact with homeless people that she comes across.
Yeah. Wow.
Helps them out, learns their story, befriends them in a way. They really touch her in her heart.
Yeah.
She really identifies with them and doesn't allow their situation to define them. And it's really awesome to see. And
that's amazing.
But does she approach them or do they approach her? And then she
think-
just goes with the flow.
I don't know. I think it probably is a little of both. I don't know. I have to ask her to be sure.
Okay. She doesn't go like swap gum with them.
She's
That's
not
what all
told me
best
that
friends
part.
do.
She hasn't told me that part, but I'm confident she would leave them with the gum.
Yes. Very sweet. Very sweet.
But you know, so many of these people, I think it would be fascinating to like just do like a documentary. Just talking
they've been done.
No, they haven't. It's my idea.
Okay. Copyright Marc Raco.
That's right. Thank you.
There's one
yeah.
on the mole people that live in the tunnels of New York City. That
Oh my God.
was amazing. And they would come. I've never seen anything like
The
they have
stories.
homes in the tunnels of the subways.
Yeah. Fascinating stuff.
I want to do a podcast in which you create a place for homeless people to come up to and tell their story.
Yeah.
And then you capture that, and then and then it takes a picture of them. It can be like an automated thing. They go up and say, "Do you want to tell your story?" And then you can hit the button, and it will record you for 10 minutes. Up to 10 minutes. And then when you say I'm done, it takes your picture, and then that becomes the podcast is you tell the story of these people. I want to do that.
And then
That'd be
maybe
cool, right?
somehow, if they were people actually really wanting help, they could be introduced to the right people somehow to get them out of the state they're in.
See, that's a good
If
idea.
that's a part of their story.
Well, because here's the
some
thing.
people are not coherent enough to even want that or need it or
Not everybody
understand.
wants to get out of that life either.
Yeah, I know.
So
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, speaking of not drunk, laughing, high, whatever people, Pride, everyone was very alert, very awake. So what do you want to know?
Were they
Mark?
on ecstasy?
No,
Or
well, not in
cocaine?
my area.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in my area.
I want to give you 5 minutes, 5 to
That's
7
a
minutes of
long
the show.
time.
No, that's your canvas to work with.
Whoa.
5 to 7 minutes of the show.
I'll take
You
4.
take 4, and I want you to talk about what your experience was
All right.
being a part of Pride, why you were interacting with the Pride Parade in a practical sense.
So I was asked to be there with the company NYC Go. Have you guys heard of that? Essentially, they're sort of like a tourist travel bureau, if you will. If you've seen the NYC posters, they're on the subways and all that. So they're like, you know, another entity of like 311, that whole thing. So they had this whole idea of Pride uncontained. So I was on the team of people that helped choreograph and teach a routine to the volunteers of NYC Go. So it was so fun. And the idea with the uncontained thing was we all either had fans or umbrellas, or some people had a butterfly, sort of these like flags they wore on their back, and everything went from a state of contained, like the closed umbrella, the closed fan, to uncontained of being open, like an open parasol or an open fan and waving it around. So I got to teach a group of, there were about 140 volunteers, and then we split everyone up into groups, and I got to teach my group. I was like Team Danielle over here, and there were 20 of them, and we did choreography to the Queen song "Don't Stop Me Now." Da 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 da. Oh, I have the whole thing memorized.
I played that on the way over here.
Oh, synergy. That's so awesome, Vanessa. Yeah. Yep. Okay. There you go. Having a good time.
Having a good, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so up. It's so positive.
Yes. It's so
Makes
good.
you feel good. If you're depressed, it just lifts you up. Yeah.
It does. And so that's what we did. So, the goal was for us to step off into the parade at 1:00 in the afternoon. And by that time, everyone had like their shirts, their things. They knew their positions, their choreography. Of course, it's running late. Of course, 1:30 comes around, 2:00 comes around. We get word we're going to be stepping off around 2:30 or 3. Okay, people go to the bathroom, come back, get a snack, come back, whatever. But having said that, this is Pride. So it took me 45 minutes to walk to a Starbucks that was less than a block away, wait in the line for the bathroom at that Starbucks, and come back. 45 minutes. On a normal, like a normal Wednesday or whatever, that would take me, I don't know, like
44, 43. Oh.
Yeah, 43. No, you're talking LA time now, LA traffic.
Yes.
No, but like, it was insane. It was an overload of people. So, but anyway, the crew was so cool. I got to meet people from the Netherlands. There were people from New Zealand, different couples from all over the world. I don't know what all other was. All over. That's what I meant to say. Anyway, we ended up stepping off into the parade at 5:15 p.m.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
5:15. What happened was,
Were you paid by the hour?
I was fine. Yeah. Everyone else was volunteering. So half of our crew of our team that were volunteering left because they had a Times Square happy hour party starting at 5:00.
Well, priorities.
in Midtown. So they all were like,
we're out of here.
We gotta go. Like, we want to go to the Pride party. We're too exhausted because by that time it was exhausting. So anyway, we're all chilling there, rallying, trying to make it happen. And now this is the funny part. All of us are just like in these pink and white shirts that say NYC, and we have like our cute little butterflies and our cute little parasols. The float right behind us was all the BDSM daddies. It was like all the gay men with harnesses.
Oh, so
with
you had the
everything
attention.
out. Okay, so I am telling you, we're all like butterflies, parasols, rainbows, and then right behind us is like people with whips, people with like.
That's the
it was
greatest.
amazing, and so, oh my God, it was just like such a contrast. But all of us had this 4-hour period to just sit there. So everyone was talking, people from different nations, different countries. And yeah, it was really great. A big thing that slowed the day down was one group was the first section that stepped off was supposed to have 400 people, but there were 1,000 people.
Wowee.
So the counting, like people just were like, well, we're going to come, and it's like, no, you're actually not allowed. Like the registration system is not. It's just too many people when it's that big. What can you do?
Well, the other thing too is when's the last time you remember that the Pride parade had this amount of promotion because of the 50th anniversary and all that stuff.
Oh my God, Stonewall. Like
everyone wanted to be a part of it,
Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. So, and then, in the morning, there was the, like a lot of the original marchers from 50 years ago were there. And that was like a pre-parade, and that held everything up too. So anyway, all this to say, I had a wonderful time. It was so cool to march down on Christopher Street in that area. I met some amazing people, and here I am living. But my throat, you'll notice it's a little sore because I had to yell over music like, and turn, 7/8, like choreography.
I will say, speaking of your voice, when you were singing the song, the Queen song, one of my very favorite things that happens on the show is when you do music. When you do like the
I'll bip into a musical interlude.
Really
sometimes
funny.
I do. Yeah,
that's my favorite thing.
My favorite thing to add to a thing is a do.
Yeah,
just a little do. I'll put one in later.
Vanessa, have you ever partaken in a parade? Have you ever been a part of a parade?
I got stuck in the gay pride parade, and I didn't have the joyful experience you had. I was like, what is going on? And I was like, oh, great. and I was on Christopher
It's
Street right by
crazy.
and it was insane. And I just wanted to get out of it. And it reminded me of being in Times Square. But I got back from working overseas, and I saw the confetti, like it stopped right a block away from me is where it ended. And I saw all the, the rainbow confetti, and
my God.
everyone looked like they had a great time and were exhausted. But it was so funny because I'm walking down the street, I'm like, man, these cops are great looking. And I'm like, oh, they're all gay. That's why they're in shape.
Oh, they're all in shorts.
They were just so handsome looking. And I'm like, they're gay cops.
Yeah.
They don't have like, let's get some donuts. It's like, let's have a kale shake. I don't know.
Speaking of that, so you essentially got caught in the parade.
I got caught, and I didn't want to be in the parade. I was supposed to. I can't even remember what I was down there for, but I got caught in the middle of the parade.
Well, sometimes that's a story to write home about.
But you made the most of it. I mean, you really enjoyed it.
It was exhausting though. Like I'm cutting out like the dehydration. I'm cutting out
I have
parts
to
for
pee
you.
like I got
Oh my
a bladder
God.
like a thimble. I never would have lasted.
No.
I never would have lasted.
It's really. I mean, people had Pringles Pringles cans.
Yeah.
But there was one very vivid moment, and then I can close the chapter on this day. But there was one moment where we were turning the corner about to go onto Christopher Street in the West Village, and there were these two guys in golden Speedos, very like tight, shimmery gold Speedos. And they had a huge flag, and it was stuck on a traffic light. So they were trying to get this flag. It was giant. It was like a huge wire going up into the sky, and they were moving it. And you had 10 cops surrounding them, like trying to spot them and help them. And finally, I turned the corner. I see this, and they like just dislodged it. All the cops around these two guys in golden Speedos are like clapping. They're like smiling, laughing. I got a great photo of it. And it was amazing.
That's like the gay, that famous Iwo Jima Marines picture and statue where they have I think it's Iwo Jima or whatever, where they have the flag, American flag, and the three of them.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
So this could be like the new, like the gay Iwo Jima.
Well, it's so
Unity moment. Yeah.
I mean, considering what they did 50 years ago, how the
Exactly.
cops just with Stonewall, and how gays and lesbians were just brutally treated throughout history.
And here they are helping
This was
them.
something, and there they are clapping and helping.
There you go.
It takes,
No, were these the real cops or the gay cops?
I don't know.
They were all real
sorry.
cops.
might
There
have
was
been
a
imply the
police
real cops.
commander.
But they might have had a
Can't be
gay
gay, yes.
son or a gay brother or a gay cousin,
Yeah.
because everyone always kind of did, but no one talked about it.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Anyway,
thank
it
you
was
for
great.
sharing your Pride experience. All right. We are going to play a quick improv game, and then it's to Vanessa and find out all about her. I've decided that because Vanessa has a little bit of a musical background, also, we're going to play Mishmash Mix.
Let's do
which is
it.
basically a version of Make Up a Song
Okay.
on the spot, where we take 3 words and a style and create a song on the spot about that. So the way I'm going to play it today, I'm going to suggest we play it, is we'll take, since there's 4 of us here, one of us will give 3 words based on the cues that someone, I'll be happy to do whatever. And then
Okay.
the other person will come up with a style. And then the third person will have to make up a song on the spot, incorporating those 3 words into the song
I love it.
in the style that's been given to them.
We did this on our first episode.
We did.
I love this game.
So let's start. You're going to go first, Danielle.
Okay, great.
All right. And what I would love is, Vanessa, I'd like you to come up with, are you ready? An object.
An object.
Any object.
I'll take whatever object you got.
Coffee cup.
Okay. Coffee cup.
coffee cup.
A place.
Pick up.
England.
And a strange word.
Kumquat.
Okay. Coffee cup. England. And
Kumquat.
kumquat. And what style of music should this be, Elsie?
Country.
Country.
Okay.
All right. Here's a song.
Bung, ticka, bung, ticka, bung, ding, ding. That was for you. Mark.
Thank you.
No, I'm just here sitting under my kumquat tree. It's really nice 'cause it shades me from the sun, the sun, the sun here in England. Sunny, 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 sunny England.
Obviously.
That's what they call it. No? Oh. Rainy, 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 rainy England, where I'm sitting here with my coffee cup. Oh, this should be tea with my tea.
Very good. That
good,
was
yeah.
brilliant. Good job.
I like
Yeah.
went really hick
job.
with that.
Nice.
Yeah, that was great.
Elsie,
Thank you.
Good job. Elsie, you're going to go next. Why don't you cue me on a style and cue Vanessa on words, Danielle?
Oh,
3 words.
give me words. Your words.
Any 3 kinds of words.
Oh, can you give me a verb?
A verb.
Yeah.
It's like Mad Libs.
Running.
Running.
I'm doing a verb too.
No.
You're the one
You're the
singing
one
the
doing
song,
it.
Elsie.
So you need to put the word running in there.
Oh,
May I also have an adjective, but like an outlandish kind of adjective?
Slovenly.
Oh, wow. This is
Oh,
going to be hard. Running and
Limpidity.
slovenly.
Limpidity.
One more word.
And then just like a household item. You got it, Elsie.
Oh,
And what
there you go. You're
style,
lucky.
Mark?
In the style of a jingle. A jingle. So you've got slovenly, running, and toilet bowl cleaner in the style of a jingle.
all right. When you're living in a house that's slovenly and your toilet is running all day, get this toilet bowl cleaner and your troubles all go away.
Great. Wow.
Perfect on the spot.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay, Vanessa, do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, you guys are good.
All right, let's try.
I feel like I'm with Second City.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah.
I'll
Well,
take
we're
it. Thank
second
you.
class.
UCB.
We're
I feel
third
like I'm with
city.
UCB.
We're third
There you
city.
go.
UCB.
Okay. It's Vanessa now.
Okay, so Vanessa now. So I will give the words.
Okay.
And you give me the word cues, Elsie. You'll do the style, Danielle,
okay.
and Vanessa will sing.
All right.
Go ahead, Elsie.
So I just get to pick what I want.
No, you tell me the kinds of words I need to tell Vanessa.
Oh, okay. An item.
An axe.
An axe.
Yeah. Hatchet. Let's say hatchet. That's
Hatchet,
more just
okay.
hatchet.
Food.
Banana.
Animal.
Woodchuck. Hatchet. Banana. Woodchuck. In the style of?
In the style of like 1940s like crooner, like Frank Sinatra, something like that.
Okay.
I just said, is that crooner? Is that right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Hatchet,
Woodchuck.
woodchuck,
and
Banana.
and banana.
You can do it.
I'm snapping.
Well, I was in the forest and I saw a woodchuck and he looked pretty hungry. So I had a banana, but I had a hard time cutting it until I had my hatchet. So I took my banana and I used my hatchet and I cut a little piece for the woodchuck. So that was my fun time with the woodchuck in I can't.
This is more of a
the
poetry
banana.
slam.
Yeah,
I
this
love
is-
it.
This is in the style of Nuyorican poetry.
I know. That sounded like you were doing a true poetry slam. I
I
liked
was
it.
trying to think of I was thinking of like when the clock strikes,
Oh,
half
yeah.
past 6, babe.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking of Mae West as well, you know.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
yeah. So there was a banana and looked pretty good to me, but that woodchuck looked kind of hungry, so I was like,
I don't think Mae West ever saw a banana she didn't like.
yeah, that's right.
Oh.
And I certainly didn't want to give it to the woodchuck, but he looked kind of hungry.
There you go. I like that.
But hardly a song. You guys were
I
you
like
guys
that.
had this. You had the songs, yeah.
I love that. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well now we're gonna give Mark a really, really, really intense.
Oh, I know. I asked for it. So, all right.
Okay, what are we doing?
Give me.
Okay. Who's doing what?
I don't know.
Can you choose the style for him?
Yes.
Okay. Elsie, give him a something you'd find in a supermarket.
Oh, sorry. No, heavy metal style.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, heavy metal
So
style.
heavy
Nice.
metal. All right. In the grocery store.
Yeah. Today.
The cash register.
Okay. Cash register.
Cash register. Give him a type of tree. I don't know.
Weeping willow.
Oh, cash register,
Okay.
a weeping willow, and finally, a type of virus.
Ebola, of course.
Oh my
Okay,
God. Cash register, weeping willow.
See, we're giving him the
Ebola.
hardest one.
Yeah.
In my
This is my fault, though.
my favorite style, which is heavy metal. Oh my God. Let's
Mark,
see.
rock it out. Yeah. I'll do double bass for you.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh.
Listen. I was in the supermarket, Jeremiah Bonham. Oh, excuse me.
Oh my.
I went down the aisle with my girlfriend Nola. Couldn't pay for the medicine. That was because of her. She didn't bring any money to put in the cash register, so we ran out of the store, ran out of the store, and we were so low. We smashed into the weeping willow.
Weeping willow.
Thank you very much. All right, that was it.
That was
Excellent. Yeah.
so good.
Oh,
It was
thank
like
you.
you were anticipating rhymes, and I
Yeah.
was like, "What's
Yeah.
happening?"
Thanks. I honestly didn't think I was
great.
going to be able to do that because I was like, how does heavy metal go? I don't listen to heavy metal. All right.
That
So,
wasn't heavy metal.
That really
that was
wasn't heavy metal.
something
That was more like Def
like
Leppard or
really, really good though.
or that
It
was
worked.
like
It was-
like Van
it-
Halen or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you everybody for participating. That was really fun. That was a good one.
That was a great one.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it's all about Vanessa right after this.
Connect with the show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. And please, for the love of all that is holy, subscribe to the show and leave us a damn review and a really, really good rating on iTunes. Pretty please? Thank you.
All right, Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa Hollingshead, stand-up comedian extraordinaire, Renaissance woman, etc., and so forth. By the way, your shirt, although it's floral, it's very Rorschach-y to me. I feel like I see lots of things in that shirt.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot going on. It's a coral pinkish shirt with an off-white and flowers for those listening.
So I always like to start out this part of the show by what I'll say, I'll call it jumping in the middle of the pool and swimming back. Why do you think you're funny?
Because
I didn't mean that as a challenge, by the way. But why do you think you're funny? But what was the moment that you actually said, I think maybe I'm funny, and then therefore I'm going to try to be funny more often?
I never tried so much to be funny. I just saw things in a funny way. And I would get angry easily, and things annoyed me a lot. So it would be seen as funny. Like I remember my first time I worked when I used to be in office. I used to work in an office, and I had this. I remember the boss, Mr. Plumpkin. he said,
The perfect name for a
Plumpkin.
boss.
Yeah,
yes.
and he goes, this means hold my calls, and this means take a message.
So an index finger up, hold your calls, and then turn it in a circle.
And that means take a message.
Okay.
And he goes, you got that?
Yeah.
And like so condescending, and I just went, and he said, again, this means hold my calls, this means take a message. And I very calmly said, yes, this means hold your calls,
And
this
up.
means take a message. And I
In a
felt like I was
circle.
turning into Jack Nicholson, you know. And
And you were like, and this me.
yeah, that's what. So when he would close the door, I'd be like, "Did you?" I would be talking to the, the typing pool or the people working there, and I said, "What's with the finger?" And I said, "You know what? I feel like saying this means I won't be coming in tomorrow." And they all burst
That would
out
be the
laughing. And then
bird,
he'd open the door.
bird of goodbye.
Yeah, yeah. So it was always like I just would see things funny or sarcastic.
Is that really the way that your humor is now? Is it rooted in that anger, if you will, that observational?
It's probably rooted in like I can't catch a break and things don't ever work out for me. But I also do a ton of characters. Like I love to do funny characters or anything that, like I've taken yoga and then it's like a girl from LA is teaching the yoga class. I'm getting so irritated because she says inhale, exhale. It's like it's inhale, exhale. So now I'm sweating and I'm getting tense. I have to take another yoga class
To get
calm
over
down
her.
that yoga
That's right.
class. So that's kind of my humor.
I
you're
love that. I'm from LA, so
Are
sorry.
you from LA? So it's like, okay,
It's like,
really
oh my
good.
God.
Yeah.
It's like, sorry, gotta check
It's
it out.
really, and it's so good for you.
It is. And then you have to
Um,
take another yoga class to get over the yoga
Yeah,
class.
which means it's meant to be. It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like that.
Charlotte.
Yeah, so just inhale for 6 counts. I'm like, it's inhale and exhale. And then there'd be a woman that barely speaks English. And she'd be like, and then they have these new ways of talking, like, heavy the arms to your side. I'm like, just put the arms down. Put the arms down.
Oh my God, this is amazing.
Swim your legs to the center of the mat.
Yeah, they do
So
say
you can-
swim. Yeah.
I'm like, just put your legs down, lift your arms up. Like, why are you making it so flowery? Why? This is so stupid. And it's like, please. And as soon as we finish, 10 of these, I'm like, oh, good, she's going to shut up with the inhale, exhale.
Okay, I think that first question was answered very well.
Very
'cause
well.
We see your lens a little bit more. I love that.
Question number 2. Let's see how we do on question number 2.
Okay,
Danielle.
let's see how we
Question
do.
number 2, Vanessa. What's been the path? Meaning, how did you, as you built your career to wherever it is now? And I'm kind of interested also as a sub question or a sidecar question, where you think on your trajectory you are now, as opposed to where you are hoping it can head. But let's talk about now, right? Now, as opposed to then now.
Yes, now.
How did you survive all the years that you had to be funny in front of people and you had to pay your dues and do your bringer shows and go to all of the East bum
Ugh.
blah places and you're lucky if they paid you and all that sort of stuff and the times when they didn't pay you and all those things until the point now where you're able to claim that this is the way that you make your living. How did you live through those times while still being able to do stand up and travel as you needed to?
Within 2 years of being a stand-up, I got a huge development deal, and I turned down the Drew Carey show.
Wow.
Because I was offered another show. So I had a set that I told my manager, I said, I just want to make a work tape, and I was at Caroline's, and the head of CBS happened to be there, Amy Introcaso Davis, and everyone was going up to the Montreal Comedy Festival, and we sent out 500, when you used to do the snail mail, we sent out 500, and she came to Caroline's, and Tony said, it's going to be like $50. You sure? I said, you never know. I just wanted a work tape because I'm working on stuff. And that night was like magic. I don't know what happened. And I had 60 meetings in LA.
Wow.
And NBC said, please watch the Drew Carey show. But then Carsey Warner said, well, put you on a cop show that never got made. So I went from hot to ice cold, and Lucian Holt, who was the artistic director of the comic strip and eventually we eventually got married. I said, he goes, you might never get another opportunity. I'm like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like talented. It's going to come. He goes, he said, no, honey, you might have shot your last wad.
Yeah.
And it's like, you get kind of talk too harshly in this business. It's almost like boxing.
Truly.
And I said, well, then what do I do? It goes, you're going to have to make yourself undeniable. You barely had any material. You got lucky. And it was very hard to hear those words because I said, I've been acting since I was a little kid and I always wanted to do that. And he said, you never know in this business. You might get another chance and you might not. And that's when I just worked around the clock and I wrote my one-person show, and I was with William Morris at the time, and the one-woman show did very well, but it was like a labor of love. And then I just kept doing show after show after show and getting good and getting really strong at what I did. Then I got a Comedy Central special, and then Lucian died. He had scleroderma. He passed away.
Oh, wow.
And then I went from like never drinking to drinking quite a lot.
Oh, wow.
And one of my jokes were, my friends tried so many interventions with me. I just used to leave the plastic folding chairs set up in a semicircle in my apartment when they came over. So that was based on...
There's the truth in comedy.
Truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so then I had to I had to somehow put my life together. And I had this, and I was working with this director, and I lost her. She ended up getting addicted to heroin. Wow. And then she cleaned up her act, and she was crying on the phone when I said Lucian died. And I said, listen, I just watched someone I love die. I can't watch another person I love die. The second you clean up, let me know and I'll be there. And she ended up going to Samaritan Village, and I was now the heavy drinker as she was sober. And I knew enough lingo that I went into the rehab, and I walked her out of there, and I put cologne on and drank mouthwash. I swallowed, mouthwash so that my breath smelled minty. And I could not stop drinking at the time, and I dragged her drunk to a meeting, and I said, listen, I don't want you to wind up like me. You've got to stay here. You never, it's like a gorilla on your back. And then when I sobered up long enough, she was living with me, and I was able to put I got together a whole set. And then I just again spent years trying to get funny. Just working on my craft and traveling around. And then 4 years ago, I put in 4 applications to Starbucks. Yeah. And I just thought some cruel joke had been played on me. I just thought, God, you do this to me. I've been in and out of homes. Wow. I've lost my husband, then I lost my boyfriend, then I lost my mother, then I lost my dad. I mean, now I'm going to have no career, and I'm funny and I'm good and I'm hardworking. And I said, okay, God, I guess this is between us. And I thought, well, I guess, Louis C.K. will have to watch me make a cappuccino for him, or, Right. I was before he, fell from grace. Yeah. And then this comedian said, I'm working with a ship company, Don Casino, shipping that books cruise lines. Yeah, yeah. And he said, can you get down to Florida? I said, I can't even pay my rent. He said, well, we're going to give you we're going to have, the office is going to take a look at your drinking material. And he goes, it's very edgy. I'm going to give you a shot. And then they said, we got to make sure Royal likes it. It was very unheard of that someone that didn't have family friendly stuff got on the ships with not even auditioned. And 13 people had to see that drinking set that I got from literally trying to hold my life together.
Were you sober at that point?
Yeah. I was sober at that point. Wow. Yes. And that's why I was I got sober for this. And so on Sunday, I put the applications in, and on Tuesday I got the call that they're going to give me a shot on Royal Caribbean, and I went on Oasis of the Seas, and Carrie Long, who was the other actor I was working with, was quarantined he got sick.
Oh my
So there
God.
I was on a ship having to do ship material. You know, I didn't even, they said, do your act. And they really didn't want your act. They really wanted you to talk to them. So I developed that, and that was 4 years ago. And then
How long did you do that?
I did that for 4. This is going on 4 years, but I've been a comedian now for 27 years. And then I was just really depressed with the PC thing. Like everything I would say, someone would take it the wrong way. And on ships, they want to get free stuff. So they'll say, you know, I was offended by that comedian. You know, I'm this or I'm that. And I felt she and I'm kind of like Joan Rivers, but I'm not harsh like that. But I used to like, if you were black, if you were Jewish, if you were Muslim, I always could do the characters and banter. And I started to feel like my wings were clipped of what I could say and what I couldn't say.
So the one thing you had in your life
was I could do all these characters.
Success or joy or whatever was that, and they don't want to be. They don't want you to be you.
I could do anybody. I would meet someone within 10 minutes and be able to do them or imitate them. And I'd study characters. I studied method acting. I got scholarships to Lee Strasberg. This is what I did it out of love. I never did it there was no mean, ethnic characters. So I was really depressed. It was a rainy night. And Carol said, I want you to do this. Can you do the show Funny Women of a Certain Age? It's at the Crane Theater. There'll probably be 8 or 9
I know
people.
The Crane.
Yeah, there'll be 8 or 9 people. And I'm like, can I say what I want? And Carol said, yeah, say what you want. And I figured it'd be a bunch of women in their 50s, maybe the odd guy there, in hopes that he'll get laid if he's supportive. Yeah. And so I get there. My hair's a little messy. I just have jeans and a T-shirt. I hadn't had sugar, wheat, or flour in a while. And I passed the Kaiser pastry place with the almond croissant.
Oh, my God.
And I thought, and I'm sitting in the dressing room getting ready to go on. I take a bite of this, and it's like, oh, my God, it's like better than sex. Like it was just, and the sugar went right to me. And I went on, and I was on fire. And Carol said, by the way, the 12 people in the audience that fell in love with you, 9 of them were from Showtime, and 3 of them from Lifetime.
Wow.
And then I did this French porn girl. And Carol said, because of you, we got the Showtime special, Funny Women of a Certain Age.
Oh, wow.
And because of that porn girl, I said the porn chick. And the porn chick was based on my German-American boyfriend, who I made like a German, like a buffoon, because to protect his children, and about how men like hardcore sex or hardcore porn, and women like silly like, I wonder why the pizza man is so late. Like we just don't, it's silly. And so then I know a few months ago we had a Showtime special. Wow. And then things started to just look up, and I just got back from the ships again. And so it's a lot of pressure to have jokes that are ship friendly and make the kids laugh, and then try and say what's important. I mean, what's important to me is so much inequity, so much inequality with the 1% and the, the super rich and the, but you can't say that stuff on the ship. So I want to try and that's things that are really passionate, some of the things that are with the human condition. But
are you doing the ships now because that's a quote steady unquote gig, or do you like doing it, or does that feel like some level of success to you, or where on the scale is that for you?
It's gotten very competitive. It's one of the few places you can make money now. A comic will get it. I'll work at one of the top clubs like Gotham and get $25 for a set on a weekday.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Dangerfield's $25 on a weekday.
I used to produce stand-up, and anyone doing over a 15-minute set who'd be like a headliner, we'd always pay them $100.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
Yeah, well, you can get some money, but once you get like a TV credit or different credits, you go up a little bit, but it doesn't have the cachet it used to. But our show did, because Showtime doesn't do a lot of specials.
So what's the big win for you now, Vanessa? What would be the big win to get that development deal again? Get one back in your hand?
I've been working on a mini series because my dad, a book is coming out about my father, because my dad brought LSD into the country and gave it to Timothy Leary. So when I was 5 years
my
old, I took
gosh.
LSD by accident. And
Well, tell us about that.
Wow.
I left that. I usually talk about that first. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to tell that story. I'm going to tell the story of my life because it was always overshadowed
So-
by trying to get my dad's story out.
You know what? Forgive me, Danielle and Elsie, if you are dying to hear this story, but in the interest of not just being every other interview you've ever done, let's skip the LSD at 5 years old story and instead talk about how you feel having that kind of a story as your lead story, what that feels to you. Like the fact that you often start with that and say, you know, a defining moment for me in my life was that I took LSD at 5 years old. One of them. How does that feel to you? And I'm not saying what it should feel like. I'm interested how you react to that.
First of all, I'm very happy that I'm alive. I don't regret taking it. I remember my brain wasn't formed enough. I remember seeing fluorescent worms and pictures getting smaller. And Richard Alpert, who became Rabba Ramdas, gave me a shot of Thorazine in the ass, which I remember because I was petrified of needles. And I remember them lifting me up and just giving me the shot. And then my dad said, you slept for like 12 hours. And they were thinking, you know, I hope she doesn't have some brain damage. I'm like, you know, that was a lot of carelessness for a little kid. So there was a lot of hurt there because my dad wasn't around, and there was a lot of anger, and there was a lot. But the strength I got, instead of like, I never like to come from victim mentality or where I came from, or tell the story to get sympathy. Now it's like, this gave me the world's greatest survival skills, and it also gave me an enormous amount of compassion because my mom looked like a bag lady, and she endured a lot of violence and there was a lot of mental. She wasn't screwed too tight, and I remember she heckled me in a comedy club and asked people for a good bag of grass, and right in front of my set, and I said, "Well, this is why I'm a comedian," you know. So it made me. And my dad was a very heavy drinker, and all he wanted was people to take LSD and to see God and make the world a better place. And Bill W., who started AA, actually took acid when they were doing the Concord prison experiments. So I'm the little girl that kind of survived all this when a lot of the children either committed suicide or lost it. So I'm the keeper of the story. And part of me feels like I almost feel like I'm holding my dad's truth to set the story straight. But there's also my truth of being a woman surviving in this business, of being someone that has dealt with the worst and has come up. You know, the legacy I want to leave behind isn't going to be about taking LSD and seeing God.
Yeah.
Have you integrated this story into your set at any point, or
I joke about my parents. I go, my dad did so much acid, LSD, psilocybin, blue blotter, and purple haze that we used to go on family trips together without ever leaving home.
Oh, wow.
I don't have childhood memories. I have flashbacks. Yeah. And no one knows the amount of pain that comes from. Just like when I was trying to get pregnant and I had tried, 4 times for 4 years.
Wow.
All my comedy comes from truth, and it comes from taking the pain and finding the humor, because it was horrible when I couldn't get pregnant, but it was very funny when I was trying to, because Lucian had to watch some porn. And I remember he was watching porn in the doctor's office, and he was like stoic, like Spock. And he goes, I watched the porn. I took care of business, I hope it works, honey. I don't know. But I was surprised that there was no credits coming up after the film. I'm like, Lucian, it's like porn. They're showing it. They don't want you to see the credits. They want you to do the thing. Well, and
so is this all in
then he would watch porn, like when we'd be home, I'd be like, I'm ovulating. And he's like, oh God. I'm like, can you just put a film in, something? He goes, well, the only
put
one I
something with
like
credits in.
I like the women when there's 3 women together. I go, what? Yeah. Well, you know what? You just get that stuff. I'll be in here so you could relax. And then he'd come in like tired. He's like, here, it's not a lot. It's all I've got. And I would take it. I put it in. I put my feet up. I would be like, okay, please let me have. Please.
My
So
God,
there was a lot of
Vanessa.
humor, but so much. And then I would find out the doctor would say, I'm sorry. And then I had like a miscarriage. So
Yeah, wow.
it was all like, and then my mother, my crazy mother, I called her up when I was told you can never have children. She said, Vanessa, having children, they're so selfish. All they do is want. I'm like, yeah, Mom, because you would know. She just started laughing. I said, you who put me up for adoption at 2. And she goes, no, I was the horrible mother. I admit that. But there's like love we have for each other.
Yeah.
There's something about her you love. She's like Blanche Dubois gone totally wrong. Blanche Dubois smoked pot. So she said, you have a lot of love to give. So maybe in God's infinite wisdom, he wanted you to give a lot of love to a lot of people instead of giving it all to one. And I'm like, I can't believe this crazy mom who made my life a living hell, who all I wanted to do was figure out and love, said something so comforting to
Really
me.
profound
And comforting.
Wow. Is this all going to be in your one-woman show?
I'm hoping it can make it. I haven't talked like this in some time.
Wow. But is your show?
My
sorry to
show's a
segue,
mini
but is it going to be
series
a mini series? I
Yeah.
wasn't sure if it was on stage or.
No, I did the
on
one
film.
person show already back in 99, 2000. And then I just did comedy and I did acting. And now we want to sell it as a mini series. And now Jeannie has got all these years in recovery. I've got all these years. And
Yeah.
and now I'm going to meet her in Athens, Georgia, where she's teaching yoga and writing a book from junkie to yogi.
Wow.
And we're working together. So we met when I was down on my luck, and we have been inseparable ever since. We went our separate ways. She got her life together. I got my life together, and we had to part ways. She said, I can't watch you die like this. But sometimes, even though I had an addiction problem, I was able to help her with her addiction problem. So not all drug addicts and overeaters or people with compulsions are always so selfish.
Yeah.
We're self-involved, but we really do care. And if there was one good thing I did do, I knew that she wouldn't make it on her own ego, that she'd eventually pick up if she didn't get to a meeting. And I said, Jeannie, I don't want you to wind up like me, because you can't stop. You think you can drink normally or safely, and
Yeah.
crosses some kind of fine line.
Well, I really want to see this show. Like,
Yeah,
I have a deep desire to see it.
And you'll
And I think a lot of people will resonate. I think you're going to speak to so many people. So best of luck
Do you have
with
a
that.
role in it for yourself?
I
play your
might
mom?
be the proudly producer. I had to be prepared to let it go and have people that were, younger play me, and then play me. And it's going to be real life. There's going to be 4 storylines going on. And I love to use music because my dad gave LSD to Paul McCartney too. So I wrote a scene where he's giving it to Paul and wants to get it to John, and John wrote Tomorrow Never Knows when he took the acid. So
Wow, yeah.
And my dad was working on Tibetan Book of the Dead, but my dad was shooting methamphetamine, and he was getting an alcohol. My dad's undoing was his alcoholism. It wasn't his, it wasn't his LSD.
Wow.
And he, and now microdosing is coming back into favor.
Yeah, especially like with
And
migraines.
ayahuasca. So it's all, everything that they wanted. It was like they had the right idea. It was just the wrong time. And now it's making a resurgence. So with being able to use rock music from the 60s to the 2000, and then Tim Leary, because no one knows the real story. I've got the real story. Everyone thinks they know about LSD, but no one really does. So that's...
I'd like to close with this, and boy, this is tough to close because
we want to keep talking to you forever.
This is so, assuming you had unlimited time with us and we had unlimited time, there's just so much texture here and interesting things to talk about. I feel like we've just scraped the surface with you of this incredible and interesting, complex person and life. And not all of it necessarily the tragic parts, but also the what's ahead. I do want to ask you, switch gears and close on a heavy duty positive. And that is, what's been the brightest moment that you can think of that's happened as a result of your comedy? What has been the greatest thing that's happened either while you've been on stage or as a result of doing comedy that is a little bit of a light you hold out there and a special memory?
I've had people say to me, "You're one of the funniest women I've ever seen." I've had people say, "You're one of the funniest people." I've had people say, "I was so depressed. I didn't even want to go to this club, and you made me forget about everything." And those moments where I would talk about addiction and someone would say, "My son, I think, has a problem. Thank you for talking about it." So I think it's those human moments.
Connection.
That connection. And I had this last time on the ship, there was this black interpreter, deaf interpreter. And someone said, "We got to get someone tough for you because you do a lot of characters." So I hadn't been able to do my black women. I hadn't been able to do my Muslim. I hadn't been able to do anything that I wanted to do. So she was like, she had a lot of attitude. So that gave me, so I started to do my, my attitude. And then I was like, talk to the hand because the head won't listen. So there she was interpreting me, doing a black woman, doing her. So, and then I did my hip hop to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. I do a hip hop version of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, and she lost it. And and she couldn't do the sign language, and that was what I was trying to do. And someone said, "This woman never breaks," and that was and I got a full standing ovation. And that was one of those moments where you're in tune with the woman, you're bringing joy wherever you go. Everything is happening spontaneously.
Yeah.
And I think because I worry so much about the future, or I get caught up in the past, when I'm in present moment, which is so rare, I think it's like magic for me. And those moments don't happen, but every once in a while you have those magic moments where you're in the zone. And any athlete, any musician, any performer will tell you.
Absolutely. It's like holding a bat or a golf club or some other thing like that. And you know, when you feel it, it's like, it's painless because it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Right.
Or holding the words to a monologue in your mouth as they spill out of your mouth on stage, and you don't know how you're going to say the next thing.
But,
it's
and
brilliant.
you feel the audience just riveted by you.
Yeah.
There's something about that when there's synergy happening.
Yeah.
Are you present when you're on stage doing stand up?
I would
You have to be present.
No,
you got to take everything in.
This is
very
what I'm
quick.
saying. Let me rephrase that. Are you paying attention to yourself? Meaning, are you able to watch the moment, note the moment?
I could tell. I'm like, man, you are stumbling a little bit. You're a little bit on the nervous side. Chill.
Okay.
Chill the fuck
Yes,
out.
you can self-assess.
Yeah. Oh, you got to chill out. Okay, this person's not smiling. Oh, don't focus on him. Focus on talk to the little kid. All right. Do that computer joke. You know that.
Gotcha.
And then, okay, good. Got to laugh. Got him to smile.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
good.
And as you're saying, I was at, Sprint. The service there is, why they call it Sprint? Because you got to sprint down the street to get a signal. Like, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? And and I just do, and then they would laugh, and then I'd be like, okay, got him back. Don't fumble. You're a little bit on the nervous side. It's all right. Don't say it's a kid show, so make sure you don't swear and you don't talk about sex.
Oh yeah.
Don't talk about drugs. Don't talk about drinking. But yeah, you're going like this. There's times where I've done comedy and I begin to separate, and when this happens. Is this all? I'm going to just tell jokes to a bunch of people that drank
You're
too
judging
much?
yourself.
Is this my life? and I'll sit in some room at some hotel at 4:00 in the morning watching PX90 commercials of these happy people doing these ridiculously insane exercises as I'm eating Doritos and getting older by the year. And I haven't met anybody. I don't even have a cat. Like,
Your
this
mind
is my
wanders
life.
so much.
What?
Your mind wanders.
Yeah.
So much.
Yeah. When that happens, that's not good. When I'm busy trying to think what's next to keep my audience, that's good. But when I begin to separate and think, is this all there is? I hate everybody. I hate all of you judgmental white people. I hope you all fucking die.
You know, I don't know if you've done this.
Yeah, no,
That would be great. That would be a wonderful, like if you get heckled, or when you get heckled, I should say, or if someone distracts you. I think that'd be hilarious to point that out and say, let me tell you where my mind is going right now. And then you just build those layers to all the places.
Well, I have said, wow, it's so nice to be with a bunch of judgmental white people. That's my kind of crowd. And why do comedy when you can feel like you're giving a TED Talk? Why? You know,
Exactly.
why should I have people laughing when they could stare and find fault with me? It makes me feel like I'm at home now, which is why I became a comedian.
There
So,
you
I mean,
go.
you just like, I sometimes get joy making fun of myself and then watching myself get out of it. That's another magical thing. When you're dying and you turn that audience around, and when I watch it from a comedian, it's like watching a magician. When he's dying or getting heckled and he turns it around and makes them start to applaud and change the whole energy. You know, that's a wonderful quality.
Truly.
So how can people who want to be in that audience connect with you and the things that you're doing?
July 19th and 20th, I'll be at the Brokerage. I will be doing clean comedy, but I'm going to be working with Rich Voss, who will not
Rich
be doing
Voss,
clean
he's cool.
comedy, but he's an awesome guy, and I've known him for a very long time. And I'll be at the Brokerage Comedy Club in Long Island. And if you don't have a car, it's 2-block walk from Belmore train station.
And you've got a great website also.
Yeah, I've got a great website, and then I've got Facebook, Instagram, which I barely understand, and Twitter, which I barely do. So Facebook, you could always get a hold of me.
And how do they do that? What's your Facebook?
It's Vanessa Hollingshead.
Okay.
And if I can't friend you because I have a lot of friends, just send me a message and I will get back to you.
And VanessaHollingshead.com?
VanessaHollingshead.com, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
We're going to go to end of show food and finish this episode out. But first, I want to mention that we do have a tradition on this show where it's called the Appeal to Tina Fey. Tina Fey is one of our comedy icons that we wish would come on the show, even for just a moment. Call in, stop by, drive by, shout out, whatever it is. Any way we can connect with her. It's a personal history on our parts. So many close calls that we figure we'll put it out to the universe. And so we're just going to do a quick little prayer here
Like
to the
10
comedy
seconds.
gods.
Okay.
If you wish to join in, feel free.
Sure.
If not, you can just observe. So I'll lead it off.
Here we go.
Tina Fey, please come on the
Tina.
show. Dear comedy gods,
comedy
we love
gods.
you, Tina Fey. Please.
We would love
It's
you
very
to send
important
Tina Fey
to our
to
lives
the
that we have just a
show.
moment
We'd
with
love
you.
you
We
to
love
just come
Tina
on the
Fey.
show.
Yeah.
Please
Even
come
if it's
on
for 5
the
minutes.
show.
It'd be great.
Please
Just
come
stop on by.
Amen. Thank you very much. We'll be right back with end of show food.
If you break it, you bought it. That'll be 3 cents, please. Welcome to Funny People Talking.
All right, it is the last segment of the show. That means it's the end of the show, which means it's time for end of show food. That's right, end of show food.
Sorry.
That's okay. No, hey, I don't care. That's fun. The
End
more
of
the
show
merrier.
food.
That's right. End of show food. It's where Elsie has searched far and wide for something interesting, something unique, something special that we can taste and sample. We never know what it's going to be. We never know if it's a food, a snack, a drink. We don't know. And she did
I
a
always
pretty good
thought
job
food
at
and
it.
snack was the same thing.
Snack is different than food. Food is
A
like
T-bone
food,
steak
and
is not a
like
snack. It would be a food
It's usually snack.
to
But
me.
snacks are food.
End of show snack.
All right, wasting time.
Okay, bye.
The important
Or-
thing is it's end of show food, and here's the rules, Vanessa. So you know, we eat when Elsie tells us we may. First of all, just keeping you out of trouble here. And then the second thing is when we taste the food, if you choose to indulge, we rate the food on a scale of chickens. The number of chickens out of your own individual scale of chickens. So it could be 161 out of 352 chickens, let's say. Okay, it's silly, but it's what we do. And then we'll get a sense of how much we liked it. So Elsie, what do you have for all of us today?
I have some foreign Lay's chips
So Lay's chips. This is like a normal bag of Lay's, except it's got
from
Asian
Taiwan.
from Taiwan.
Yeah.
Okay, lay it on us.
And
I said there.
Oh, that was
there,
good.
it's a beef noodle soup flavor.
Ooh.
What?
They're
Yeah.
probably pork chips.
But it's Lay's.
And
Yeah.
is that that's Chinese on the front. That's definitely
Is
not
it?
Korean.
Okay.
They're from Taiwan, though.
Oh, Taiwan. Okay,
Yeah.
Taiwanese.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna open these bad boys.
Okay. Open them up. Let's see what we got. Oh my gosh. All right. So Elsie has opened up the bag and she's going around the room and giving us each some chips. Do they look like potato chips or do they look like?
Yes, they do.
They
They
look
look
like
like
potato
potato
chips.
chips.
Flavored
Whoa.
like some
Oh,
sort
I
of
get-
beef
oh, that's good.
soup. Are we catching a
Whoa, we are
fragrance
catching-
already? Is it
Yeah,
strong?
bouillon.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
strong.
Smells like beef bouillon.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
strong.
it does.
Well, oh, it's very strong. Very
Okay.
strong.
I think it smells good.
Wow. Okay. So
Are we
Elsie,
allowed?
So 1, 2, 3, go.
Oh my god.
that's like beef stew.
Yeah, it is.
It does, yeah.
Whoa.
Nothing Asian about that to me, but
It's like borscht.
it's weird. It was very oniony or
Ooh, garlic.
garlic, maybe. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's not too salty.
No, these are good. I will say for me, I'm digging them,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure it's something I would just eat like loads of them. Like
No.
I'd tire of this after a while.
Mm.
Very strong flavor. They look like just regular potato chips.
I'm getting like Indian spices as
Yeah.
well.
All right. Elsie, what do you rate these? How many chickens?
I would say like 68 out of 72 chickens.
That's a pretty strong rating.
Yeah.
Deduction for?
They're not addictive,
Yeah, I agree with you.
but they're good.
Danielle?
You guys want addictive things? Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know, I wouldn't. Okay, so by addictive I mean like I wouldn't finish the bag, so I'd have to carry it around. And I don't like to carry.
That's a
around
4-point inconvenience right there.
Yeah.
All right. Danielle?
90 out of 102 chickens.
Same idea?
Yeah, I'm just confused.
That's how I feel as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of good, but
Vanessa, how would you rate this?
I was pretty impressed. I would say 18 chickens out of 20 because if I was dying for beef stew, which I love, and I had those, that would satisfy
curb
me.
it?
That would curb the beef
Yes.
stew craving.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm going to give this 242 out of 253.
wow.
I think it's just a very odd rating system. I understand, but and I think it's for all the reasons that everybody mentioned. But I do agree with you. There is some weight to these in terms of its intensity of taste, and it's satisfying. I don't feel like I need 7 more of those. I feel like if that was literally all I ate of them, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
probably
good.
not what they're after.
Right.
It goes against the design.
But
All
they're
right.
good. They're
Well,
good.
Elsie, good find. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks.
Did you just find those in a store or did you order them or what happened?
In a store. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, everybody, that is it for this episode of Funny People Talking. Sad to say, but happy to say I think it was a really good one. And
Great
I hope
episode.
you enjoyed it. A huge double X thank you to Vanessa Hollingshead. Not only a very funny woman, not only a very deep woman, but also a woman that came to our rescue today and joined us at the very last minute in studio.
Yes.
Vanessa, in all candor, it's really nice to make your acquaintance, and I wish you the very best of luck in your miniseries and whatever is next that you want to happen.
Thank you
and
so much.
And I hope you get a cat.
Yeah, I'd love a cat.
So,
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much,
And
Vanessa.
thank you. I had a wonderful time being on the show, and you guys were awesome. And those potato chips were great. And I'm the one who can just have one, but that was pretty good. Yeah.
All right. Very good. Well, that's it, everybody. Thanks again, Vanessa. And thank you for listening. You know how much it means to us. And we'll be back next week with another great guest. Until then, for Elsie
Bye.
and Danielle,
Peace out.
I'm Marc Raco. Have a wonderful day. And you know what? Hey, stay funny.
Officially submitting themselves for the weird couple traveling to Mars, it's Marc and Danielle with Funny People Talking. Copyright 2019. No portion of the content may be reproduced or published without the strict written permission of the producers. Connect with our show at Mouth Media Network or at our website, funnypeopletalking.com. I'm your announcer, Peter Coleman. Thanks for listening.
This is Mouth Media Network, your inside voice.